Alright, so that's the start of kilometer 1. I'm gonna do a Alpe Du Zwift Recon. How's everyone doing? Gonna do a recon, thinking about maybe Everesting in the near future. So just trying to get a ballpark of how much time it's gonna take me. Today's ride, I'm just gonna be riding at 200 watts, steady Freddy. See how long it takes me basically to get up the climb at a steady 200 watts. One thing I have done, I have looked online, taken a look at basically what are fast wheel setups, fast frames for uphill climbs. Kind of like real life. A lot of different bikes have different drag coefficients and weights and sort of in-game consequences. So from what I read today, again, it could be outdated, who knows? It could just be made up entirely. I put on the lightweight wheels, which apparently are the fastest wheels for climbing. And I believe I have the specialized Tarmac Pro, which is supposed to be the fastest bike for climbing, or at least going uphill. Whether any of that is true, who knows? So yeah, I'm just trying to give myself lofty goals to work towards. This goal may be a little bit too lofty. I mean, Everesting is no joke. But, you know, it'll keep me hungry, something to do. It'll give me a goal to chase. So I'm looking forward to trying my best here. Let's see how well I can basically... Whoops, sorry, I'm trying to multitask here. So, I mean, I am at the absolute bottom here. The other thing I didn't realize, it would have taken me 30 minutes just to get to the base of the climb, which is kind of a bummer. I mean, the bright side of that is a really good warm-up. You definitely don't want to hit a climb such as this with absolutely no warm-up. So I mean, I had a good 30 minutes of sweating time. Got my sweat on. Also, you know, took a nature break. Things you should prepare to do if you actually are going for a half respectable time. You know, get your business done out of the way before you hit it. And, yep, just gonna take it one pedal stroke at a time, because realistically that's all you can do. Pedal comes up, smash it down, pedal comes up, smash it down. It's gonna be a lot of that. Just trying to get a nice rhythm, nice pace. You know, just listen to your pedals and chain, all that drivetrain friction, just hum along. Make sure you got your fan set up. Music is definitely key. So I'm actually gonna have to stop pedaling just to minimize that. There you go. Yeah, make sure you got some good tunes, tasty beverages. You know, yeah, have some snacks, something, you know, give yourself little targets. Maybe a half hour you have a gel or a snack, or you set aside some tasty treats every so often. You can reach into them. So it gives you sort of a time goal there. You get a snack every 20-30 minutes. I mean, plus you need fuel. I mean, you are constantly working on the bike, so one of the longer sections is coming to a close. Pardon me. Well, there goes the first corner. And we're off. One of the longer segments. Again, I'm not going to be doing negative splits or anything like that. I'm going to really just try and ride as close to 200 watts. Just because I just want to get a general ballpark of how long uphill 200 watts And then if I do choose to tackle this Everesting challenge, I can say to myself, am I going to go for 225, 250, pick a target, see how much time I'll shave off. I'll probably do a couple ascents at different powers just to see what the time difference is, because sometimes, that extra wattage you're pushing doesn't really correlate to a much faster time. You'd be surprised, sometimes significant amount of power might save you, maybe a minute or something. I mean, if it's, you're going for personal best, obviously it's a lot. But if you're going to do it repeatedly, you got to ask yourself, is that 25 watts extra worth that, 1 minute or whatever it correlates to on this climb here? So I'm going to have to stay somewhat disciplined, steady Freddy. I'm either going to catch people or they're going to blow by me. But not particularly worried about chasing other people. Especially in climbing. Even when you're racing, I mean, there's head and shoulders of abilities-wise. The climbers will just take off. Everyone else just sort of sits back and gracefully watches them dance on their pedals. And then, if you watch any of the big stages or the World Grand Tour events, some of the other racers are coming, half hour to an hour behind. Pardon me. But, yeah, a little bit of race banter there. Looks like we're going to catch another rider. So initially I was going to do 2 ascents. One at 200 watts, next one at 220. But I'm a bit pressed for time. Also, I didn't realize it was taking me a half hour just to get out here. So I'll have to factor that in next time. And realistically, I'm actually trying to do this Everesting challenge before. I don't want to say it just in case people hold me accountable to it, but within the next couple of weeks, I'd love to do it. Just to get it out of the way, move on to the next goal. Yeah, I guess we'll see. Depending on what my time is for this 200 watts, we'll see. Thank you, Davide. Legendary Davide. Now he's a local engineer in Toronto. Alright, approaching next corner. Not very exciting compared to Zwift racing. I mean, maybe racing up Alpe Du Zwift is fairly exciting, but I don't expect steady state effort to be that exciting. Then again, you never know who might run into on the climb. Maybe a little bit of rivalry goes on. Historically, I know I do have sub 1 hour, probably even sub 50-minute times up this mountain. Mind you, that's spread over last couple of years. Probably not going to put in a very impressive time these days. Alright, just like that, another corner done. Had a really fun race on Friday. Toronto Hustle, Good Friday road race. Who would have thunk it? That in 2020 the road racing calendar would be indoors. I'm sure many race organizers or even local clubs are really looking at Zwift as the actual race calendar this year. I know I am. Just because it's really hard to create a training plan based around a race that doesn't exist, which is probably a difficulty everyone's having. No one's really quite sure how hard they should be going right now, because it's not going to be like there's a lift or the ban gets lifted on races. So it's like, what do I do in my training block? Do I go back to sort of like base building, try and build a bigger base Because normally the guys that are targeting the early season races, they're already doing race-like intervals efforts, but sort of no races to head to. It's like, well, what do I do? What do I extend? And, you know, I've been planning for races late in September, because realistically, this is, I think this is going to go all throughout summer. And if it doesn't really... My biggest fear is that when the nice weather comes, everyone's just going to get sick of being quarantined and really head out. There's just going to be another reinsurgency of, you know, people catching the virus, and we have to go back to a very extreme quarantine. Hopefully none of that happens. Got a couple great comments, great replies from our Friday race too. A couple suggestions on fan possibilities. Potential fans that may be interested in. A couple of good links. A couple of very overpowered industrial fans that would probably have me flying against the wall, but appreciate it. But honestly, I'm debating hooking up a portable AC unit in here just to keep the ambient temperature lower. I should see what the humidity is like in here too. It's a fairly small room, but I know the ambient temperature on my Garmin's 25, 26 degrees. It feels like a sauna. I know if you see my videos, once the sweat starts dripping, waterworks. So I'm not doing too bad here. 200 watts, my heart rate looks a little bit elevated. Then again, I am talking profusely, so that's to be expected. Been watching some of the pros race on Zwift, absolutely mind-blowing. Some of the wattages powers these people are holding on, absolutely godlike, but to be expected again. That's why the world tour. I think I saw a video, Victor Carpinat's doing 500 watts for 3 minutes. He's doing about 5 of them. Interestingly enough, like, I think 2 weeks ago I was doing like 2-minute max efforts. I'm not trying to brag, but you know, I did okay. I think I got 3 intervals at roughly 500 watts. I think it was like 498, 496, but only 2 minutes. He was banging out 3, and realistically, you could, God knows how long that guy could bang them out for. I mean, when you're like TT, Rockstar, hour record holder, sure, if you really want to, you can stretch out that 500 watts for a very, very long time. Actually, I think I read an article where Zwift actually flagged his rider mid-game race, and they turned him into a snail or slug, just because his watts probably were through the roof. He's just saying it's just regular interval, you know, nothing special. And you know, amongst the world tour select guys, yeah, it's probably just your average interval day. But you know, Zwift has to do their best for flagging riders, because I mean, everyone knows it. There are lots of people cheating in this game. You don't have to look very far. Sure, you encounter several cheats just in your one ride alone. Alright, what else is happening here? Just plugging away here. Still got a lot to go. Try not to look at the corners. It's actually like I'm pretty happy about this like YouTube live streaming stuff. Just I don't know if it's good for my sanity though. Just literally talking to myself. Or talking into a webcam or such, but it helps the time go by, so realistically, I don't mind. It's not like I got any races around the corner. I don't have to really be peeking for anything. Plus, you know, what I was really hoping to do this year was use my GoPro and film a lot of outdoor footage and sort of get better at video editing. just editing clips in general. Super hard, especially if you don't have any of that background. I don't know if anyone's tried to create any sort of content, but it is not easy. Plus the initial startup cost of just time really invested, even trying to figure out what kind of gear you need. Pretty crazy. So got a very low budget setup here. I mean, the only outdoor content I'd be grabbing is from my GoPro, and I think I subscribe to Premiere Studio, but for the amount I use it, I should really cancel my subscription. I don't use it at all. Also, again, it takes a lot of time just to learn how to do the basics. Plus, I don't really have any exciting footage other than stuff that's happening on Zwift. But yeah, it's kind of the reason I started this streaming more often. Just create random content, and even if I want to, I can edit it down the road. Try and curate something a little nicer here. Like how I said, I wasn't going to look at the mile markers as I caught myself glancing. What else? So Tuesday night crits every Tuesday now. Plus Toronto Hustle is throwing down a Friday race every Friday. Plus there is the Bicicleta Toronto Hustle sort of donut race every Sunday. To be honest though, it's a lot of racing in a week. Plus just those given days, Mondays and Fridays are, most people's rest days. I don't know how everyone's planning their training blocks and then racing on the weekends. Sorry, racing Monday, Friday, and then racing on the weekends as well. So I may have to cool it on the racing. That's one thing I want to say. As a coach, coaching athletes, everyone always wants to race, but everything has a time and place. Races are a lot of fun. But a lot of the times, racing is not necessarily the best for your training block. Also, just consistency. It's really hard to do a race and then resume your regular training, just because races are generally maximal efforts and over the top. I think it's good to get a good sprinkle of racing, which is why I generally prescribe my athletes, free rides, that they have the complete day to themselves. They can go easy, they can go hard, they can go race, they can do whatever they like. But just to be constantly peppering these races and events and training rides, it gets a little too much. Just turns into garbage in, garbage out. Mind you, if you're like a World Tour pro or even domestic and you're training, your regular training hours are probably 25 to 30 hours a week, then yeah, you could probably, they're probably entering the races and doing training prior to that, and then continuing their training after, just because they're so well conditioned and the amount of volume they can handle. I mean, for them, it's nothing. Especially when you think about some of these guys are doing 5-6 hour one-day classics, an hour-long Zwift ride or even 90 minutes. It's like their first, not even quarter of the regular road events. But yeah, it's kind of what's happening here. I wish this, okay, so it does. I was just about to say, if it gave me an overall timer so far about my time, I think it's pegged it to almost 19 minutes and 20 seconds. Excuse me. Don't actually have a 30-day PR. I haven't done this climb in probably a year's time. Alright, what else am I going to do for this channel? I'm actually hoping to put out a lot more educational content, sort of pertaining to actual training, instead of just racing. I know racing's entertaining, that's what everyone wants to watch, but I think also important to give back a little bit to the community. Post educational content people can apply to their training. So I'm trying to work on like a separate playlist of that, which again, really hard to create content and then video edit, especially you know, it's not easy. I just highly suggest someone try and do it. It's very, very hard. Again, especially if you don't have any editing skills. I want to say most people probably know a friend or have a buddy who does some sort of video editing, chops it up for them, creates some content at the end, that are extremely talented. So the other thing I'm probably going to do after I do this ride is probably take a look at the average gradients. Try and figure out whether this climb is very front-loaded, or the steeper stuff at the beginning, or is it at the end, or is it sort of just really steady average gradient? Important to know. But I think I'm doing okay in terms of my power and my heart rate. Even though I'm just yammering here, I know I haven't shut up. Part of me is pretty tempted to actually increase the power, but then I'll have no idea exactly how long this effort's going to take me at 200 watts. So I'm going to try and stick to the game plan here. Just hover at 200. I'm hoping it'll just be slightly longer than an hour. Otherwise, my better half probably is going to let me have it. So, time is limited. It'll be nice to ride forever. But we'll see. And from that accomplishment, didn't realize there's an actual in-game Zwift Everest trophy you can win, which is pretty cool. So I'm hoping just to knock off another achievement. By the way, if that was in real life, definitely go around it. Definitely don't want to risk riding under a tractor. Seen Final Destination too many times. Got a ride on, probably from a local here. Is there any way I can scroll through my time segments here? Huh. No, even if I click them. I thought I could just scroll. I want to see how I'm doing for the average power. Tricky part too on this climb is like, I can't really find a sweet gear. I'm probably either going to be way over, way under, or I'm going to have to like pedal at an absurdly awkward RPM. So that's that. On the plus side, I'm hoping, probably went out today, but I'll hit level 36 soon, which is pretty cool. So today I'll probably get a single Alpe Du Zwift ascent, plus I might get a level either here or tomorrow. We'll find out. All right, 13. 12 more to go. So I think my heart rate might have risen a little here. Again, just pedaling slightly harder. But I think it'll calm down once my body sort of steadies. Sorry, my heart rate will lower once my body gets comfortable with this pace. Oh, phone's already ringing. Gotta check it out here. Could be trouble. Might have to abort this. Put in the other earbud. See what's happening there. Notice there's no power-ups available on this climb either. I don't know if that's a thing. Maybe that's just to keep the climbs a little more honest. Shoot, gotta read my text. Okay, safe for the time being. Alright. So it looks like my heart rate settled back in. Going nowhere fast. Alright, let's see here. Looks like all these corners are going to get progressively longer by a little bit. Really long one coming up. Sure, that corner 6 is 1.17 kilometers long. The rest seem to be 600 meters, 5 to 600 meters. Seems like such a short distance until you factor in the gradient. Start wondering, why is this taking so long? Tell myself off here. Trying to blow my eardrums. Alright, and we're back at it. So I guess the other unknown element is attempting these Zwift Everest challenges. Just the time duration. As time goes on, you will get obviously more fatigued. You know, you gotta have a good nutritional strategy. The other strategy is sort of out of your hands, is whether or not your body is just able to cope with it. I mean, for anyone who's done any long distance rides or even very hard races, you know, there's things like muscle cramping. In cycling, you know, very common to get overuse injuries. You have to remember that if you have a cadence of, what is it, like 80 RPM over the course of like 80 revolutions per minute, multiplied by 60 RPMs, 60 minutes in an hour. I think, what is that, like 3,800 pedal strokes? And then multiply that by how many hours you're riding. Absolutely nuts. Just check out the math here. Let's say 80 RPM times 60. Sorry, it's 4,800 RPMs per hour. If you're pedaling at 80 RPM over 60 minutes, and let's say, I really don't know this Zwift Everesting challenge, but I'm going to say it's probably going to take me like 6 to 8 hours. So at 6 hours, that would be 28,000. Just endurance zone, steady Freddy. Just want to see how the body would handle sort of that time duration of pedaling. Held okay. Legs were a little bit groggy after, a little annoyed with me. But I really haven't done any sort of like long endurance riding, so actually 2 hours has been about my longest ride. So I was well over my comfort limit. But again, rebounded, got some good, half decent good sleep. And here I am again today. Don't feel too bad. Legs a little sloppy. You know, they don't feel incredible or anything like that, but just steady endurance work. You got a good night's sleep, some good food in you. Top up your fuel stores. You can usually go back to back. Ain't a problem. Sorry, I might have blown out the microphone there. Alright, the nice thing is this climb is coming to a close. A lot of these corners look fairly short. Got the two long ones are at almost 0.9, but it's 0.86 and 1.17 kilometers. It's looking probably going to be that long one around 4 or 5 minutes, I'm guessing. These all seem to be in that 2.5 minute marker. Again, depending on my power. My power's dropped off for this segment here. I'm sleeping a little. Sip some water here, hydrate. Thanks for the ride on. Also have a towel this morning. Need a headband, truth be told. Probably a good piece of cycling gear, even wristbands. Just a ripe. Take the sweat beating off my eyebrows here, wipe my eyebrows. That or wear this hat appropriately. Then I think it takes out all the light off my face. Looks like I have a really dark room. Once again, I kind of do, with lights behind me anyways. Don't feel like investing in proper lights. I don't probably do that. Never, but hopefully. Oh, we're an hour in. I should really make these streams known ahead of time so people can join me if they like. Maybe I'll do that. Have like group ride sessions. Kind of fun, just keep time pass along. I don't know how I'd enforce all the watts per kilo stuff like that. I mean, there's a total, like anything when cycling, huge range of abilities. You know, maybe necessarily my 200 watts isn't a lot, but when it comes to watts per kilo up a hill, it might be a significant challenge. So I think, what is it, A group races 4 watts per kilo. B, I think it's like 3.1, 3.2 to like 3.9 or 3.4. So I'm just at that 3 watts per kilo looks here, roughly, give or take, 2.93. Be somewhere between like a B and C ride, let's say. Man, I guess someone just commented there. I didn't read it completely. It said something about an Everesting come my sweat. Not nice on a touchscreen phone here. Super sound and yeah, why not? Let's give him a ride on. See where you rode here. Oh, his message might not have locked. Oh, someone's chirping him. What do you get out of the ride on? It's a little motivational boost, buddy. You know, lets him know. Keeps him going. Cynical people up there. Everyone's ready to roast ya. Alright, so finally past the halfway mark. Not sure how long ago that was. We're looking like okay time-wise. I think I'm wondering if it gets any steeper. I don't know. I'll take a look online. Can you tell me the average gradient between climbs? All I can see is 8. I don't know if the number signifies anything. I suppose I can look at it online right now. I've got some time. Take a look here, Alpe Du Zwift. Climb Alpe Du Zwift. Let's figure out here. Let's see the beast. We're well, if I know Rohan Dennis got it. Let's see what we got here. I just want the stats. Oh, falling up. Guess I gotta be a little bit more going the gradient there. There we go. See the gradient. Alpe Du Zwift, Zwift Insider verified. So it actually looks like the steeper stuff is at the beginning there. How does this color gradient work here? Can't seem to zoom in here. Guessing 9% seems to be the average gradient. What's this say here? Average gradient 8.2, 12.6 distance. Pardon me. 1,000 meters elevation. Alright, so it's a bit of the grind. Fastest time at 5.69 watts per kilo. I think it's at 39 or 40 minutes. Wondering if that was Rohan Dennis the other day with the team Ionos. How am I doing for my wattage? 199, 207, 204. Doing alright. Got a 10th corner there at 194, not the greatest. But I mean 6 watts off. Got a couple of efforts over the targeted wattage, so I'm okay. So I've blown by the KOM time. I think KOM said it was 38.55 or 39.55. And I've just hit that now. And I've still a good amount to go there. What is that? Let's say 1 kilo to 3, almost 4 kilometers to the finish. I got that long section here, 1.17K. Seems to get a little less steeper. That looks good. What am I, 7% right now? Alright, counting down. Let's see if I can take off this hat here. See what the ending of my Zwift video looks like. Probably gonna want to shave my head before I actually tackle this. That'd be nice. A little extra cooling. Otherwise, I'm just absolutely gonna sweat buckets. Well, I'll always be sweating buckets, just, you know, more of it pools on your head here. Well, looks like we've got a bit of a crosswind here. Well, 6%. This is actually flattening out here. Looks like it's going to kick though. Yeah, and we're back. You guys blowing by me? got a good time probably. He's well over 4K. He's also at 13 kilometers. I gotta figure out a way I can start the game right at the base. Probably help me significantly. Alright, steady Freddy. Also, I gotta see if I can enhance the stream volume. Not sure how this volume is holding up. I've been tinkering around with it, but again, so many variations, just fan angles and how your microphone is pick up sound. Maybe in the future get some sound dampening panels. Maybe an actual legit microphone. Just all these little small things to make the stream that much better. Alright, here's that long 1.7K. Also, I think it's important to actually find out how tall Everest is. Start number crunching how many times you're gonna have to climb this thing. Alright, hour 16. This will be a good little chunk of a ride. Probably an hour and a half, maybe longer. Let's see. Let's say all those sections around 0.5, 0.6. Looks like they're on average 2.5, 3 minutes. Yeah, maybe a little longer actually. I did see on the Zwift Insider there, the last section flattens out. Probably get some a little bit quicker speed. Seems also this longer section is not as steep. Better solution though would be is if I can cut a lot of weight and still hold this power. I mean, heck, if I can lose 5 pounds, that would drastically help me. That'd probably save me a couple of minutes each time up. I'll have to look at the books, see what we have to work with here. Looks my heart rate's nice at this 130 beats per minute, just hanging out there. I mean, that's what an endurance ride should be, right? Also, looking at the mini-map, it looks like I have a fair ways to go before I hit this next checkpoint, but in the timer sector stats, looks like it's almost over. I guess everything's not to scale, obviously, so hard to make sense of any of it, really. Good news is, though, got about 6 corners left here, and I'll be happy to take a little break. I mean, real joy in the real life is climbing actual mountains. You know, it's a struggle to the top, but boy, when you get to the top and you get to coast all the way down, you just feel, mind you, this would be a very cold descent. I guess depends what time of the year. Super fun. If you ever done any real big mountain ascents, the descents, worth every soul-sucking second going on the way up. Not so fun in this virtual Zwift. It's kind of boring, rather, really. going on here? Let's see what the boss is up to here. Home stretch, that wasn't too bad. Thought that kilo was gonna be a lot longer. Got some time in it, just enough probably to finish it off here. Oh, I don't want to rush it either. Hopefully it just flattens out. That'll be the saving grace. What's up in there? Alright, home stretch. Home stretch. Got this third corner here at 0.86. Gonna be a bit soul sucking there. Is this really gonna be under an hour climb? Really? Even at 200 watts? Seems fishy. It's gonna be close. Sorry, just checking emails here. Man, it's hard to keep on tabs with these emails, man. Coming in all times of the day. Alright, last couple of corners weren't so good, weren't so hot. Dropped the pace off a little. I'll take a look at this though in my ride file. Over the course of the hour, it's probably very close to 200. What else in this crazy time? Oh, 13%. Come on, man. I was really hoping to get off this in the next 5 minutes or so. Is it 52 minutes? I think I can still do sub an hour. Squeeze out, may go 300 watts on the last corner, just to seal the deal. But I am positive the last little bit totally flames out. Now I'm getting a little eager beaver. But this gives me a good idea. It's 200 watts, it's roughly an hour, give or take. Probably next time I go up, I'll try to 220, 240, 260, get a ballpark of, you know, for the hour. 20 watts extra, how much is that really going to save me in the grand scheme of things? Do a little bit of planning. So, I don't think I had a single viewer, but that's okay. I'll have some footage to edit, just add it to the feed. Not a very exciting video, I get it. Would be fun if I had some people to ride up with though. Guess what's important is probably taking this video and trying to edit it into something a little bit more fun rather than guy droning on the trainer for an hour. Alright, approaching 55 minutes here. Oh, it's light at the end of the tunnel here. Alright, 2 little short corners to go. This is quite a long section here. I thought it was point A. I thought it was going to be a nice short one. Extra 300 meters really puts a dent in your time here. Well, if anyone does stumble upon this video and I do get a like, thank you ahead of time. It's fun just to ride this, record this, see what kind of times. Give me a reason to get on the bike again. Need something to do after all. Oh, we're getting close. I don't know if I'm going to make that sub hour. I thought I was well on track for it. Apparently not. Looks like the 200 watts fiasco is not going to get me my sub 2 hour unless it really flames out here. Got 4 minutes. Yeah, definitely not going to make it. I mean, I could if I really start punching it. But wouldn't be very accurate, would it? Probably looking at 101, I'm guessing. That unless this completely flames out, which it's not going to. Nope. Oh, nice to see a little trend in my heart rate. Actually looks like it's getting lower, which is good. It actually did get a little bit cooler in my room. I do have the windows cracked wide open. So ambient room temperature probably dropped a fair bit. maybe a degree or two, and probably the difference in my heart rate there. All right, over the 130 mark. I like how once I hit that corner 1, I have to go to 0. Looks like a fair bit of a drag. All right, we're almost there. Honestly, you know what's funny too? Like, it looks like we're going totally flat, but then the end game just tells you on the top right there. No, 10%. It's probably going 10 kilometers an hour. It all looks like level terrain though. You can see the finish line, we're almost there. Ooh, it's gonna be longer than an hour. Bummer. Last little bit coming up here. All right, 2 to go. Come on, flatten out, baby. Of course not. Gotta hit you over the head a bit. So what's my time here? It's gonna be longer than 101. Ooh, that last little bit actually looks fairly long. This is where they actually count the top as here. The last corner, or can I cross the banner there? A little bit longer, a little bit longer. 5 more minutes. That's all I gotta keep telling myself. Just 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. Make sure my call volume's on. I was told there was going to be a flattening. This guy's going to blow by me here. I don't know if he's been riding 5 watts per kilo the whole time. Possibly. So what is it, like the last little 500 meters here? It's like a little strip on the road. Is that the actual end? I don't know. Nope, just is right on. False alarm. Amazing how this guy ahead of me is riding 5.4 watts per kilo, but he's not really dropping me that bad. Try to like fly right by me. Just goes to show you the gradient, you know? Like, he is gapping me, yeah, but probably putting out a boatload more wattage, too. Alright, he's officially blown by me. Oh, is this the end? The end of the gradient here? Oh, man. It's gonna be like hour 5 if it starts calculating it's 1 to 0. Is it gonna show me a sector 0? How does this work? So the timer is still going. This last sector here. That's kind of weird. Why don't they just count this as the last little hurrah? All right, so at least we know confirmed 200 watts. Not going to be sub an hour. Going to take a lot longer than that. Kind of bummer, doesn't now I don't get the data of my average heart rate for this section here. That's really weird.
Right on.
I'm gonna get in trouble. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be in trouble. Oh, really though, I do want to finish this. So long. God damn, it's gonna literally be like a 5-minute haul right here. Lying bastards. Alright, well, it looks like 2 minutes longer before I crest there, thank God. I'm gonna get a scolding. Just want to stretch my legs a little. We might as well now. Ass is a little bit tired. We'll just crank up the watts, maybe 220 or so. Apparently this time is going to be good enough for 21st. I wonder how often those tallies get updated though. There's no way over the course of a day. This is the 21st fastest time. No way. Uh-oh. Alright, well, I gotta see what I get. Probably the same thing I already got. I don't even know what's possible to get. I got a bike. I don't even know what that means. I've already unlocked the, what is it, the gloves, the wheels. Apparently now I unlock some sort of... Alright, I gotta go. Sorry, I just realized. We'll check that out next time. Thanks a lot, guys. Gonna see how this audio is. Gonna figure out what my prize pack is. Thanks for joining me. If you end up watching the stream later time of day, all the best. Keep riding out there, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.